Martial law, called the more politically neutral catchphrase, is practiced with an iron fist.
The implosion of the economy has begun by design. The United States dollar is under attack and losing value every day,
while the cost of living continues to skyrocket.
New laws that will effectively double taxes are already on the books and ready to be implemented.
Nothing has been introduced to help homeowners with their now default loans.
But at the same time, money is generously given to bankers who give themselves huge bonuses
during one of the worst economic downturns in history and dry up loans to small businesses.
All the while, the economy spirals downward at a free fall rate.
As the citizens of the United States lose their ability to take care of themselves, the government conveniently steps in to save the day.
Capitalism gives way to socialism, and then without much notice, into the neo-dark ages of the one-world government's total dictatorship.
Once this task has been completed and the control grid is firmly in place, they can play their final trump card.
FEMA camps.
And by design, we will welcome the salvation with open arms,
as any alternative will surely seem like suicide.
Once we've been properly enslaved, they gain control over the rest of Earth's natural resources. Humanity.
America, here's what you need to know tonight.
I'm, basically a rodeo clown.
If you have any kind of fear that we might be headed towards a totalitarian state, look at FEMA trailers, FEMA prisons, FEMA camps.
I want proof. If they exist, I want pictures.
I lost sleep last night worrying about this story, thinking about this story.
But when I see, 9/11 victim family on television or whatever, I'm just like, oh, shut
Well,
up.
yesterday we talked about debunking conspiracy theories.
The only thing that I answer to is myself. And I just want to be able to look at myself in the mirror and also sleep at night.
Glenn Beck, a year and a half ago, said that Ron Paul supporters should be arrested and that the army should be used against them, and that they were dangerous terrorists.
You need more tears.
Yeah, I'm listening. Okay. Try to keep your eyes open. I know it's probably impossible.
Or that's what I'd have you believe.
It took me about a year to start hating the 9/11 victims' families. I don't hate all of them. I hate probably about 10 of them.
Any of these 9/11 truthers, who I've been telling you for years, are dangerous.
Guy Fawkes. This guy was a British terrorist who tried to overthrow the government by blowing up Parliament and killing everybody in it. Paul's supporters called the donations, and I'm quoting, a money bomb. It's really not the way I would go, tying my movement in with a historical terrorist attack.
You're right. There's a strain of isolationism and anarchy in the American tradition, which Ron Paul is tapping into. I think it's very significant that he chose Guy Fawkes. There are plenty of, unfortunately, libertarian websites which are indistinguishable from the anti-American left these days.
Yeah.
So, totally in bed with the Islamo-fascists and have turned against this country. Turned against this country. This country.
Where am I wrong? The Ron Paul Revolution. I think it's meant to be a catchy slogan, but I fear some of his fringe supporters are taking the word revolution too literally.
What Glenn Beck is saying is a talking point being given out to the media.
And this is going to drive the conspiracy theorists crazy about me. I have this. They're making me say this. Help.
Because we were seeing Bill O'Reilly and Sean Hannity say it. We were seeing CNN hosts say it. We were seeing Joe Scarborough say it. And I said, that's a talking point. And then suddenly he started saying a few months ago, I'm going to expose the FEMA camps.
If these things exist, that's bad, and we will cover it. If they don't exist, it's irresponsible to not debunk this story. We have an independent group on this program looking into it, turning over every stone. I am going to bring you this story.
He announced a few weeks ago, I'm going to have Popular Mechanics, the yellow journalist, on to debunk all of this.
So I asked James from Popular Mechanics to do an investigation on several projects. The first one is the FEMA camp.
Yes, and so we put a reporter on this, and what's so interesting here, we're waiting to really do a definitive deep dig on this. We don't like to just come out and say, oh, we've debunked it, you know, after we've looked at it for 2 days.
And how is Glenn Beck debunking it? I have predicted tonight, we'll see if I'm right, that he will do a straw man and focus on the websites that are getting it wrong.
And what we did was we looked into these claims. You know, you can't go and visit every one of the 600 sites that some of these conspiracy theorists claim. So we started looking at the ones that are most popular on the internet.
And I said, well, look out, folks. He's just trying to get your confidence to then discredit it later. We mailed letters to Glenn Beck. I know people that work in his office. I contacted him and I said, here's the proof. If he wants it, we stand by to work with Mr. Beck if he isn't going to come out next week and say arrest all of us, basically, like he was doing a year ago.
First of all, on the FEMA prison thing, I know we've been in contact with your office, and we would appreciate any help that you have. I want to make sure we're turning over every stone on anything, because there's a lot of crazy stuff that is being said about these things. And
because Beck says he's been doing months of research, and they've been having trouble finding him. He's doing research, but he can't ever bring any facts, and he makes little jokes about, ooh, the government's going to get me, or, oh, I'm being censored on Fox, and calls us conspiracy theorists. And I'm predicting Glenn Beck is going to attack us this way. They're going to show the 1990s video of the closed-down Amtrak train system up by Chicago.
So we started looking at the ones that are most popular on the internet.
Okay, and let's show the video. First, show me the video that is on the internet. This is one of the so-called, I guess, a death camp.